right, so some of you guys may know or may not know that I am a multi-platinum producer. I've been involved in over 20 million singles sold, but I've only been credited for like 14 million. That's for a whole nother story. We're going to talk about that as well. But what I want to do is give you guys some insight on some things that happen in the music industry for somebody like me, okay? But I want to talk to you guys directly, all right? I want to talk to you and give you guys some insight that can hopefully help you out if you end up in like the particular scenarios that I was in when I was in the record industry at the peak of my career. Because I started just like a lot of y'all, but over time I grew and I ended up having a really huge record. And I was like up here, I was like the number 2 Billboard producer of the year, I believe in 2016, or 2017. And I got to check the stats on that. And then signed multiple publishing deals, signed a deal with Capitol Records as a producer. I had an artist that was signed to Capitol. I started artists from the ground up, and they became gold and platinum, some platinum, multi-platinum artists. So I've had my run, and I've dealt with a lot of things. And what I'm trying to do right now with this little series that I'm going to be doing, just giving insight about the music industry, I'm hoping to help out a lot of you guys in advance so you guys will know what to look for and what to expect. And I'm doing this for free. Okay, so I'm doing this totally for free. So this is kind of like consulting in a sense, but hopefully this will really help you guys out. And hopefully you guys will hit the like button, and I hope you guys will subscribe to this channel. And hopefully this will be some type of material that can help you out in the future. Okay, with that being said, one thing that you guys have to understand is that nobody in this industry is your friend. Not one person. And I even mean family members, especially when you get to a certain point. People in this industry are only here for one thing, and that is to advance. Whether it is advancing the product or advancing themselves into a higher position. That is it. And they will say and do anything to befriend you so you can move the way they need you to move so that they can advance their product and themselves. The only reason why I'm saying this to you is because I was the same way. I felt that I knew everything going into my first really big situation. Now, signing contracts as a producer and just being a producer on a record is one thing. But being totally involved with an artist, being involved with their shows, their contracts, their day-to-day, touring, all of that stuff is something totally different. And I took that upon myself to be in that. And when I got into it, there was so many things that I did not expect. And there's so many things I did not understand, but I kind of got myself through it. And one of the things that I was green about was thinking that people at the record company were my actual friends. I really figured that out after everything kind of died down at the record company. Once the song kind of ran its course, once the artist kind of ran his course with the company, I figured that I knew I could always call back and get the same responses that I used to get when everything was going great at the record company. And that is totally false. And even some of the people who I work with now, they actually have a sense of thinking, oh man, I'm going to call my mans real quick. He's going to go ahead and take care of that for us, man. He's tied in with such and such. He's going to do this and do that. Never happens. Never happens because there's nothing to advance. It doesn't matter how many records we sold. It doesn't matter how many people got into great positions because of what we did initially. It didn't matter because it was never about a friendship. It was about an advancement. I remember, certain A&Rs flying into town. Oh man, can you take me here? Can you do this? Can you do that for me? It was all cool. Don't get me wrong. It was all cool. Because at the time, that's what it was. We had to be cool. We still had to work together because at the end of the day, even though that I thought we were friends, we were really just business partners at that point because, at the end of the day, it's a business when it comes to the record industry. So yeah, I would drive them around and stuff like that. And then a lot of times they'd be like, hey, let's go to a certain bar, man. It's on me. Not thinking, okay, they have the company card. They're spending all this money and really the money is coming out of the artist's budget. And we're not thinking about that. We just ordering drinks, having a good time, ordering steaks, lamb chops, all this good stuff, but not knowing this is coming directly out of the artist's budget. It's crazy, ain't it? And then I would have the audacity to pull out my card, my own personal credit card, and be like, hey, man, no, don't worry about those rounds of drinks. I'll pay for it. Because I was green at the moment. Thinking that they were my friends. But to be totally honest with you, they were not. And then guess what? A lot of those friends at the record companies, when they got different positions or moved up the ladder or moved on to other record companies because of what we initially did by getting the record really hot and signing a deal with the company and making all these people look good because all they did was sign us and they really didn't know what to do with us. And then we sold millions and millions of records. And it made everybody else look good to where they moved on and advanced other companies. And then the moment that they got there and I tried to make a phone call to say, hey, man, you think you can kind of, help me out and do this and do that? Yeah, man, I have to get back with you, man. Yeah. I'll check in and see what's going on with you. And after that, you hear nothing but crickets. But then you see all these interviews of, oh, yeah, that's how it is. When you're doing this, you discover talent. And, I just have a keen sense of talent and doing this and doing that. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, no, you don't. We chose you guys. We could have signed to any record label. We had a choice to sign. It wasn't like they were the only people coming at us. It was a whole bunch of record companies from all around the world that were trying to sign acts that I had. And these people felt like they were the ones who basically curated the talent when they were not in the studio when we made these records. They were not even in the process of when we were sitting down deciding which record label we wanted to go to. They didn't even get the record hot. They just were the lucky company that we signed to. But then when we got there, oh man, thank you guys, man. We're going to make this thing work. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be partners for life and all this stuff like that, which that was a lie. A complete lie. And to this day, I may speak to 2 people that worked at the company like that. And the only reason why I really speak to them like that is because of what I've been doing on YouTube for the past couple of years. Like, especially on my main channel, on my Bolo, the producer channel. And they have questions like, hey, Bolo, how's it really like on YouTube? What is this? How you do that? How you do it? And they ask me certain questions. You know what I do now? Hey, man, yeah, I figure. And I tell them a little something, but I don't really give them that much sauce anymore because they don't give me any sauce. They don't try to help me out in any way. Because to be truthfully honest, while they're working at the company, they cannot really do much for you anyway because their hands are tied behind their backs. A lot of those people who work at those record companies are simply what they are. They are workers. They are employees. They're contracted employees to do what they are told to do. A lot of them do not have room to even try to help you out once you leave or once you need any type of favors. But while they're there, they have to keep you as comfortable as possible. They're going to do everything they can to keep you as comfortable as possible. They're going to say everything that is right. And that's where a lot of artists, a lot of producers, a lot of writers, they get caught up in that stuff and they think that these people are really their friends, and they're not. Not at all. To the point sometimes where they'll try to manipulate you in a sense to where they'll try to get you to sign off on certain things that you shouldn't even have no business signing off on. They'll try to put you on certain tours. They'll try to get you to do certain things that's not even required for you to do. They try to get you to do extra things, and they'll have people behind them saying, hey, just talk to such and such. They'll get it done. If they feel like they can't get to artists a certain way, they'll send somebody else in. They'll go ahead and get another artist from another label and say, hey, go talk to him real quick, man. Just, we're trying to get him to do whatever. They do very sneaky stuff like that. So I say to a lot of you guys out here who are just now getting started, who are starting to gain some traction in the music industry, be careful who you think are your friends, because sometimes they are plants around you. And you just don't even know it. And as you producers, sometimes the label will call you. They'll put you in a room with a whole bunch of other producers and stuff like that. And you'll think some of these people are your friends. They're not your friends. They are your business partners. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if there was a time for them to advance and they had to choose themselves over you, they're choosing themselves. There's very few people that are like me who will say, no, we all got to come up together. Like, we got to do this. Or say, hey, listen, they want me to do this. I'm going to explain to you what's going on. I just need to get to a certain point right here. Once I do this, I'm going to pull you up, which that's what I tried to do with a lot of people. I tried to do it with a lot of people. And to be honest with you, I kind of burned some bridges with people because I was trying to bring too many people on and trying to help so many people because I was a true friend. But in this business, you have to have a little bit of cutthroat in you. And that's why I'm not really a part of the music industry, the music business, because I just don't have that cutthroat bone in my body. The people who last in the music industry have to have some type of cutthroatness to them. That's the only way they can survive in it. So if you see somebody working in the music industry for 15, 20, 30 years, trust me, they got some cutthroatness in them. I don't know if that's a new word or whatever, or if it's a word or whatever. I just made it up. But they have it. And you have to watch out for that. So don't think once you get to a nice situation, or if you make a big record or whatever, don't think those people that are coming to you are your friends. They're not. And I mean that from the record company side. I mean that from the publishing company side. I mean that from whatever, the radio people, everything. Like, for real, we used to go to radio stations, have a great time talking to all these radio people. Oh my God, had the best time. We will see them sometimes 3-4 times out of the year, man. It's like a family reunion when everything is good. But as soon as the record dies, or as soon as that situation is kind of fizzed out, you're not going to hear from those people. Because now they have other artists that they have to cater to, and to get them to feel like, oh, hey, come to my radio station and do this free show for me, and we're going to give you a few more spins, or come do this. It's just a rotating door. And guess what? You are a part of that rotating door. You're going to go in and come out. And in certain situations, you're going to go in and come out a few times. But the more and more you do it, you understand how this thing works, and you understand why a lot of people that are like really like top artists and like top producers, you'll see why they move the way they move. It's because they understand that there are no friends in this industry. It's only business partners, because you have to understand people are only concerned with advancement. That's it. Stay tuned to part 2.